Hello, my name is Alex, and today I'm going to review this kit from Fireforge. This is Fireforge Games Samurai Warriors. I'll talk about my experience building it and what I think about it. So this kit I think is about a year old, maybe a little more. I bought them for Clash of Katanas, which is a skirmish game. I'll talk about this project later on in the channel. Now there are 24 samurai in this kit, and as you can see based on the artwork and on the back, you can build these guys with melee weapons. So either pole weapons or the short two-handed sword you can see here on the left. This kit is approximately $40 in the United States, so that's just under $2 per figure. I buy Victrix figures normally, so that's my my comparison here, and it's a little bit more expensive than Victrix, but not too bad. So there's a few kind of inspirational pictures on the back, but I don't remember getting any instructions here. It's all pretty self-explanatory though, as I'll show you later. Okay, so if you want samurai with ranged weapons or shiguru or mounted samurai, they also offer, I think it's 5 additional kits. Yes, they have 2 shiguru kits. I think they have 2 mounted warrior kits and an additional samurais with bows. So you can get that as well. Bows and firearms. Okay, so let's take a look at the sprues. There are 2 types of sprues. So there's a sprue with the weapons and a sprue with the guys, essentially. So you can see that they've separated the torsos from the legs, so you have to attach the legs to the torsos, and you can kind of swivel it around to get a little bit more life and action. And they offer 7 pairs of legs, so you can you get 1 extra each time. And this one right here is crouched, so that's kind of what makes it unique. Maybe you can save that up if you buy multiple kits. So additionally, if you look at the bodies and the chests here, they're all well armored. These are intended to be well armored samurai, sort of elite warriors of the time. In terms of the faces and the helmets, you can see some options here. They're almost all with helmets, which is great. And there's lots of different types. You can see all the various designs here. I think they did a pretty good job with that. There's, looks like there's 4 unhelmeted options as well. A couple up here. Yeah, maybe I should zoom in a little bit so you can see a little bit better. There we go. Yeah. So I think that's pretty nice. And also give you a little glance here as well. Kind of get a feel for what they look like up close. Okay, so those are the bodies, and now let's look at the weapons, the options that they give you here in addition to the bodies. So you can arm your guys with pole arms or short two-handed swords, and I think they're supposed to be katanas by the way in which the sidearms here are presented. So of the pole arms, you get naginata options, right? So that's a glaive, or a couple different types of spears. So there's some really interesting, fun-looking spears here with wings on them, and there's the classic one. I like this one the best, personally, the one that's it has a very clean look. Now these aren't pikes. They are not as long as like a pike block, a shiguru block, but they still look pretty intimidating as well. They're long enough to definitely look like pole arms still. And you can see at the top here, there's a bunch of katana options. Now, you have 6 glaives and 6 spears and 6 katanas. So that means that you can completely build your kit with just all spears, all katanas, and all naginata. So that's a great option there. I was really impressed with that. So maybe that's why the kit is a little on the expensive side, but it seems like they lean toward providing options rather than providing like a sheer count of figures. But that's speculative on my part. So in addition, you're given on, say, the body sprue here, you're given a bunch of sashimonos or flags, which you can put on the back. Given 6 per sprue here, so that means every single warrior can be equipped with a sashimono, which is great. Yeah, you can see that there's a theme forming here. In addition, sidearms as well. So they also completely offer the same sidearms. So you can give a sidearm to every one of your guys. And they distinguish those with a sword in the scabbard from those with a sword drawn. So for instance, right here, you can see that this sword is out of its sheath. So you don't have to cut that little sword off if you have a guy with a drawn sword. So for example here, for this figure that I built, you see he's got his sword out, and the sidearm that I put on the side is the one with the sword missing. So it makes sense. There's a certain continuity here. I like that, so I don't have to do this surgery on my own. So that's nice. Now, in terms of like the options, though, they only offer this 2-sword stack here, and I would have preferred if they also offered a single side sword. That would have been nice. Period artwork from the Sengoku Jidai often shows samurai with a single side sword. I think it's supposed to be like a tachi, equipped blade down, and I know like you associate this iconic 2-sword stack with samurai, of course, but I do it with, I associate it with an armored samurai from the Edo period, and then when there wasn't constant warfare. But it's so iconic, I understand why they've made that selection here. So when you do put the swords on the samurai, like in this option here, I think it's maybe a little large, but it's not too bad. I still would have preferred a single sword, and if you really want to, you can cut that little sword off, and use whichever one you so desire. So that's not really a criticism. It's me just really nitpicking there. Okay, so in terms of the various head options, I already mentioned them. It's great that they give you predominantly helmeted options. And you can see that there's some really great, cool looking ones here as well. I really like the antlers and the horns. So I do definitely think the helmet options are great on this kit, for sure. In terms of quality, I think the helmet quality is great. The face quality, I think, is a little bit below Victrix, but it's still fine. I wouldn't really complain about it. I think it looks just fine painted up. Let's see, I'll give you an option. Maybe you can see what it looks like here on this guy. Yeah. Face looks fine. And someone with better painting skill could have done an even better job with it, I'm sure. Okay, so let's see, I talked about the pole arms. One more thing I want to touch upon is I had some difficulty actually in the assembly. Which it may have been my fault, but if you want to equip them with Yari, I had a hard time getting the little hands to fit. So, what am I talking about? So you see here, you have to attach this arm to the body and place the other arm to the body as well and get this to line up perfectly. Now, I had a really hard time doing that without the shoulders kind of popping out. You can see a little bit here where there's sort of a gap that opens up because I couldn't quite get the little wrist to line up with the arm without really fiddling. And I ended up having to fill in a gap that appears here with sprue goo. And it works fine. It's just a little bit more annoying to have to do that. And that's one criticism in terms of assembly that I have. I had a hard time kind of getting the everything to kind of line up and close that gap. But it is extremely workable if you spend a little bit of time on it. So that's one thing that I would note about the kit. Now for some examples here. So I haven't finished basing on all of these, but I've done a fair amount now, about a dozen. And I think I've I think you can get some really great guys from this kit for sure. This is one of my favorite here. So this is I'm kind of imagining he's a leader of this warband. And I spent the time doing some of the little ridges on his uniform. Highlighted it, and I think he came out well. Change the lighting a little bit here. All right, great. So yeah, I enjoyed the kit. This kit, one thing I will say about it, and you'll notice that all of the poses are very active. All the legs are well spread out. If you look at the sprue, you can immediately see this. There's no one's kind of standing at ease in this kit. This kit is designed for building samurai in active poses at war, ready to go. No one's standing at rest. No one's just kind of chilling in the back ranks or anything like that. You know, you can't really build someone who, I don't know, is standing up and waving their weapon in the air. It's like everyone is in this very active pose, which is just something to be aware of. I know that's can be extremely desirable, or maybe someone else might not want them at all being very active fighting poses. So just be aware of that. And yeah, that's all I have to say about this kit. So I enjoyed making these samurai. Aside from that little issue with getting the arms on, I didn't really have any issues with it. And yeah, I've enjoyed painting them, and I hope you think they look nice. So that's all for today. Hope everyone has a good one.